So dito na po tayo, no? Void marriages na tayo and the general principles on void marriages. For void marriages, ano po yung mga general principles dyan, no? Unang-una po, di ba, pag sinabing void marriage, it is void ab initio. So, it is void from the very beginning. So, dahil void po siya from the very beginning, parang obligations and contracts lang po tayo, the action or defense for the declaration of absolute nullity of a marriage shall not prescribe. Kasi nga, it is void from the very beginning. Parang oblikon. No? Tangent lang tayo. Parang oblikon din, ang voidable marriage may prescription. Just like voidable contracts. No? So pag void marriage, void contracts, pareho sila imprescriptible. Okay? Next. As a rule, no, void marriages can be attacked collaterally. So a direct action is not required to prove that a marriage is void. Ano po example, no? Nabanggit na natin 'to o babanggitin natin 'to ulit, no? Repeatedly dito sa discussion natin. In a settlement of estate case, no? The heirs can assail the validity of the marriage. Okay. If the marriage is declared as void, no? Is declared void, no? The living spouse will not be considered as an heir. So ano po resulta nun? Mas lalaki yung share ng mga heirs, no? Sabihin natin, anak, no? Kinontest na void yung marriage nung asawa ng decedent, no? Sabihin natin, wala nang cut yun kasi magiging strangers na sila. So walang legitim. Di ba? So, pwede nilang i-assail. Di lumaki yung mana nila. Di ba? However, no, as exceptions, there must be a direct action for purposes of remarriage and correction of entry. Yung for purposes of remarriage, ito po yung nasa Article 40. We will discuss this also later. Yung po correction of entry, ano po ibig sabihin natin dito? Kung gusto talaga natin, sabihin natin, gusto talaga nating maging from married to single, yung civil, yung birth certificate natin, kailangan direct action, 'di ba? What we're trying to point out is pwede pong i-attack collaterally yung void marriage such as in a settlement of estate case. Pero kapag gusto natin magpakasal muli o gusto natin ipa-correct yung entry natin, sabihin natin from married to single, hindi tayo magdi-direct action. So kailangan mag-file ka talaga ng petition for declaration of nullity. Okay? Ay, dapat pala ito ko nalagay sa baba. Ito yung example ko na. Yan ito. In an action for support, no, the defense that the marriage is void ab initio can be alleged. The court can resolve the status of marriage to resolve the issue of support. Okay? Next, the nullity of marriage can be proven after the death of one spouse to determine the successional rights of the living spouse. Ayun pala. Ito na pala. In other words na lang. In a settlement of estate case, the heirs can assail the validity of the marriage. No? Okay. To determine if the living spouse is an heir. The nullity of the marriage can be proven after the death of the one. Okay. Okay. Tama. Meanwhile, a petition for declaration of nullity ayan, is necessary only if there is a marriage celebrated. Nataka lang natin ito yung semblance of marriage. Ayan, no? Identity theft at saka private act of signing. So, inulit lang natin, nataka lang natin ito previously dun sa discussion natin about sa essential requisites of a marriage. So, identity theft at saka yung private act of signing. In both of these no, instances, alam natin na correction of entry okay, no, as exception. Hindi kailangan na mag-petition for declaration of nullity kasi there was no semblance of marriage. Now, ayan. Next na tanong. Kung void ang isang marriage, sabihin natin, kailangan ba merong judicial declaration of nullity? So, kailangan meron bang judgment before the nullity of the first marriage can be alleged as a defense in the charge for in the information for bigamy. Okay. So in Pulido versus People, no, the court ruled that the first marriage is null and void is a valid defense in the crime of bigamy. Okay. So, yun, no? Article 40 of the Family Code is only necessary for purposes of remarriage. It is not necessary to absolve the accused from the charge of bigamy. So, ano po ang senaryo nun? Sabihin natin, 2 beses kinasal. O tapos yung first wife, syempre, siya galit, no? Nag-file ng ng kaso for bigamy laban dun sa husband. O sabi ng husband, defense niya, wala pong no, hindi po na declare as null and void yung dinadeclare as null and void yung first marriage, no? So ang sinabi nung husband dun sa bigamy case, void po yung una naming kasal kasi under 18 po kami noon. Ganun ang sinabi. Under 18 naman pala talaga. Wala nga lang judicial declaration. Tanong, absolved ba siya or um, acquitted ba siya or convicted? Acquitted po. Kasi that is a valid defense, no? Ibig sabihin, pag napatunayan na null and void talaga yung first marriage, di ba? Kasi nga under 18, edi incomplete yung elements ng crime of bigamy, hindi magkakaroon ng conviction. No? Pero tandaan natin, yung second marriage niya, void pa din. Ayun, nalay ko dito, gagawin natin example, no? Para ma-analyze natin. So yung sa kaso ng bigamy, acquitted siya doon. Pero kahit acquitted po siya doon, yung second marriage niya, void pa din. Why? Kasi nga, under Article 40, kailangan mo ng judgment bago ka magkaroon ng remarriage. Eh, hindi niya ginawa eh. O di void yung una kasi nga under 18, void din yung pangalawa kasi hindi siya nag-comply sa Article 40. There must be a judicial declaration. Kita niyo yung interplay, no? Okay. Ayusin ko lang tong sentence na to, no? Itong first sentence nito. Inayos ko na. In Pulido versus People, ayan. The court ruled that a judgment declaring the first marriage as null and void is not necessary to raise the invalidity of the first marriage as a defense in the crime of bigamy. Ayan. Hindi kailangan ng judgment declaring the first marriage as null and void, even the second marriage actually. No? Kasi pag walang second marriage, wala din bigamy. Kasi hindi kompleto yung elements. Is not necessary to raise the invalidity of the first marriage as a defense in the crime of bigamy. In other words, Article 40 of the Family Code is only necessary for purposes of remarriage. It is not necessary to absolve the accused from the crime of bigamy. Gagawa pa tayo ng another example dito, yung akin. No? Ito kasi yung itong example na ito yung sa Pulido case mismo. The isang example ko. Diba? Mr. A, no? And Miss B, sabihin natin, no, got married on January 5, 2000. Okay. After 10 years, no, Mr. A got married again to Miss B on January 5 din, 2010. Kaya, kaya nyo sa ganun. Miss B. Thus, Miss B filed a criminal action for bigamy against Mr. A. Later, the prosecution filed an information for bigamy against Mr. A. Yan. Ngayon, tapos, in his defense, Mr. A alleged that he must be acquitted from the charge because he was only 17 years old when he married Miss B. He produced, natin, his birth certificate as evidence which proved that he was actually he was a minor na lang. He was a minor at the time of his first marriage. On the other hand, the prosecution contended that the invalidity of the first marriage is not a valid defense in a charge for bigamy in the absence of a judicial declaration, a judgment, judicial declaration, I'm sorry. In the absence of a judgment declaring the first marriage as null and void. Ayan. So, first question is, should Mr. A be acquitted? Ayan. Next, what is the status of the marriage between Mr. A and Miss C? Yung kinasal sila 10 years later, di ba? Ayan. Two parts. Para kung tanongin kayo both scenarios, kung mga ng tanong yung question, kaya nyo sagutin pareho. Should Mr. A be acquitted? Yes. Mr. A should be acquitted. Bilis na lang. Because, di ba? Copy-paste na lang nilay ko sa taas. A judgment declaring the first marriage as null and void is not necessary to raise the invalidity of the marriage. The first marriage as a... Okay, as a defense, hindi ka bigamy. Ayan, tapos ang usapan. Okay, here, Mr. A should be acquitted. Ito natin gawin because pala. Case law dictates, no? That, ayan. Here, Mr. A should be acquitted because he was able to prove, no, that he was under 18 years of age when he married Mr. A. Thus, no, the elements of bigamy were not present. All the elements. Okay. What is the status of the marriage between Mr. A and Miss C? The marriage between Mr. A and Miss C is void. No? Case law dictates, no, that a judgment, actually di nga case law Article 40. Article 40 yan, hindi siya, ayusin natin. Yan. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na void yung second marriage between Mr. A and Miss C for being bigamous. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin. Paano masasabihin bigamous, napatunayan na nga niya na walang bigamy. Diba? So, hindi na po yun ang contention, hindi na po yun ang magiging sagot natin. Tandaan nyo, pag ganito ang senaryo, hindi mo sasabihin na void yung second marriage because of bigamy. Bakit? Siya mismo nagsabi under 18 so nung una eh. So, dahil hindi po pwede maging... So, ibig sabihin, kung void ab initio yung una, it is as if he was only married once. Yung marriage niya, subsequent marriage niya, kay Miss C. So, how can there be bigamy? Diba? So, hindi po yun. Hindi bigamous ang ground natin. Dahil void, para maging void yung second marriage. Ang maging ground natin is ito, under the family code. Okay. Under the family code, no? Copy-paste na lang. No? Ayan. The absolute nullity of a previous marriage may be invoked for purposes of remarriage on the basis solely of a final judgment declaring such marriage void. Ayan. Here, no? The marriage between Mr. A and Miss C is void because the first marriage, because there was no judgment, no, declaring the first or the previous marriage as void, no, before Mr. A married Miss C. Ayan. Kasi for purposes of remarriage to eh. Diba? So, tandaan niyo po, no? Hindi bigamy o hindi bigamous o polygamous marriage ang ground to nullify the second marriage. The ground, no, natin is Article 40. Hindi po Article 35. 35 po kasi yung bigamous eh. Ano yun? Number 4, paragraph 4, if I'm correct. Yes, number 4. Okay? Sige, we get the point. So next tayo, void marriages produce no effect except those declared by the family code which are as follows. No? So, meron pa akong hindi na dito, no? Dito pala. Okay. The governing rule, ito yung pinaka-important. No? For void marriages, may dalawang important na Effects yan. Yung status ng bata at saka yung property regime nilang mag-asawa. Okay? So una, no? The governing rule for status of children, no, is the children are illegitimate. So pag void po ang marriage between the spouses, no, between the contracting parties, pag void yan, anak nila illegitimate din. Okay? May exceptions po, no? Pag void po ang marriage under Article 36 or psychological incapacity or void yung marriage under Article 53. Ano po yung Article 53? Yung hindi nag-file ng hindi final yung judgment sa RD saka sa civil register. The subsequent marriage would be void. Not because of bigamy but because hindi finalo nung subsequent na kinasal yung family code. So, punishment nila yan. Nasabi ko na sa inyo before yan, di ba, dun sa previous discussions natin. Tandaan nyo, not because bigamous, but because they did not follow yung provision na kailangan i-rehistro nyo muna bago kayo magpakasal ulit. Since hindi nyo ginawa niya ng punishment nyo, void yung marriage nyo. Pero tandaan nyo, nakalagay din po sa law, sa family code, yung anak nila legitimate. Kasi hindi naman nga bigamous. Yung anak doon sa subsequent marriage, hindi yung unang marriage. Okay? Yung anak nila sa unang marriage, ibang usapan yun. Ba't ba na-declare as null and void? Diba? Ibang usapan. Ang talk context po ng Article 53, yung, yung second marriage, yung subsequent marriage. Ano yung status ng kanilang anak? Ah, ang status po, ah, legitimate. Ulitin ko, pero yung status ng mga anak doon sa unang marriage, ibang usapan yun. Di natin alam ba't na nalify yan. Di ba? Okay. So, ayan the governing rule for status of children is the children are considered or are deemed illegitimate. As exceptions pala, hindi dapat further. As exceptions, or however na lang. Yan. For void marriages under Article 36 and 53, the children conceived or born before the final and executory judgment of nullity are deemed legitimate. Okay? Next, the governing rules for property relations or for property regime are covered by Article 147 or 148. Okay. Ano po yung 147? No? No impediment to marry each other. Di ba? Pag 148 with impediment, ganoon lang kasimple. Okay? Tandaan nyo rin po, yung 147 saka 148, they only apply to opposite sexes na nag-live-in. Okay? Pag po same sex, parehong lalaki, parehong babae, hindi po 147, 148 ang mag-govern. Ang mag-govern po, civil code on co-ownership. Okay? Sige. However, nilagay ko rin dito, no? Article 43 applies to what? No? Applies in case of the previous marriage is void but the subsequent marriage was solemnized without securing prior judgment. The previous marriage is void. Ito yung tinakil natin dito. Ito yun. Article 43 will govern in this scenario. The previous marriage is void but the subsequent marriage was solemnized without securing a proper judgment. Ayan. A terminated marriage because of subsequent reappearance of the presumptively dead spouse. Ba't ba nilay ko rito? Hindi naman void to. No? Anyway, nilay ko nila rin dyan. Nilay ko na rin dito. Tandaan niyo po, kapag nagkaroon ng presumptive death, di ba? Judicial declaration ng presumptive death. Tapos talagang may well-founded belief, talagang akala niya patay ni asawa niya kasi militar, lumaban sa gera. After 5 years, bumalik sa Philippines. Tapos nag-file ng affidavit of reappearance sa civil register. Ano mangyayari? Yung subsequent marriage nung naiwan dito, sabihin natin yung babae naiwan dito, magiging terminated yun, hindi void. It is not a void marriage, it is a valid marriage, yung pangalawa. But it will be terminated because the absent spouse, yung unang asawa, he reappeared. Since he reappeared, no, file siya ng affidavit of reappearance, terminated na po yung second marriage. Ang magiging marriage na ulit nung Pinay, no, naiwan dito, yung unang kasal na ulit. Patandaan niyo po, under Article 41, 42, 43, 44, hindi po void yung marriage. Hindi po void yung marriage. Terminated only yung subsequent marriage. Okay? Nilay ko dito pero later on pa discussion talaga niyan. So ano pala, ito pa isa kong ipo-point out pala. Di ba nilagay ko rito yung the previous marriage is void but the subsequent marriage was solemnized without securing a prior judgment. Article 40, di ba? Ito yon, di ba, yung nangyari dito, no? Void yung marriage not because bigamous kasi di naman. It was void because hindi nagsecure ng judgment, di ba? Under Article 40. No? This ano po yung status ng anak ng second marriage? Illegitimate pa din po, no? Ialay ko dito, no? Note na lang. Under Article 40, no? For marriages, no, that are void under Article 40, the property relations, no, would be governed by Article 43. However, no, the children, no, who were that naging bagay, who were conceived, no, or born, shall be okay, nawala ako. So ayan, no, so ulitin natin. So for Article 40, for marriages that are void under Article 40, the property relations would be governed by Article 43. However, the children nila who were conceived or born shall be deemed illegitimate. Bakit po ganito? Kasi under Article 50, nakalagay dyan, the effects provided for by paragraphs 2, 3, 4, 5 of Article 43 and 45 shall also apply to those marriages that were declared void ab initio under Article 40 and 45. 45, ano yan? Later on na lang yan, voidable marriages. Article 40. Tandaan niyo po, 2, 3, 4, 5 yung nakalagay. Yung 2, 3, 4, 5 po, ito po yung property relations. Example, absolute community of property, nakasulat, donation, inheritance, insurance, di ba? Property. Yung pong number 1, sa Article 43, hindi sinama, di ba? Nakalagay dyan, Article 43, Article 43, 2, 3, 4, 5. Paano po yung number 1? Ayan po. Ang number 1, the children of the subsequent marriage, nakalagay po sa Article 43, the children of the subsequent marriage shall be considered legitimate. Hindi sinali sa Article 40. Ano implication nun? Ibig sabihin, yung anak, pag under Article 40, saka void, illegitimate kasi hindi siya sinali. So pag po Article 40 with respect to the status of their children, ang mag-govern po yung general rule on void marriages. And that is, pag void ng marriage, illegitimate ang anak. Pero with respect to property relations under Article 40, Article 43, 2, 3, 4, 5 ang mag-govern. Sana po malino. Yun lang gusto ko i-point out. Okay? Sige, let's move to the next topic. Let's tackle the other effects. The effects further later. Okay, ito tayo, no? So, ito tayo sa before March 15, 2003, March 15, 2003 onwards. Ano pong significance to March 15? Yan po kasi naging effective yung AM number 21110. AM number 21110. Ito po yung rules natin ngayon with respect to petition for declaration of nullity of marriage at saka annulment, no? Special proceedings, no? Matatakal siya in-depth sa remedial law. Pero yan po ang significance ng March 15, 2003. Kasi yun yung effectivity ng rules, no, for annulment of marriage at saka nullity, declaration of nullity.